How to trust your instincts in dating and relationships. This is truly Eleanor, and I help women create loving and secure relationships based on trust in 6 months or less. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel, Truly Eleanor, for more love advice. All right, let's get into this. So, based on my 15 years experience coaching women and my own personal transformation of overcoming my relationship challenges to meet and marry the love of my life, I'm going to give you some answers of how to trust your instincts in dating that I've personally used and used with my clients as well. Okay, so these might not be the answers you're looking for or that you were expecting, but it's very powerful. And like I said, I have seen the amazing results that my clients have gotten, and so have I with this. So first thing is to trust your instincts. You have to understand your instincts, or another word for it would be intuition, your gut instinct. All those types of words are meaning basically the same thing. And it's your ability to read a situation and to understand if something is right for you or not. So in other words, the green light, the red light, the in between, you have to figure out what your unique instincts are and what is your intuition telling you and what's it saying. So in other words, you have to translate your own internal GPS in your own system, and it's different for everyone. But I'm going to give you some exercises that you can actually do to figure this out for yourself. So before you go on dates and before you figure this out for yourself, you have to find out what is a yes for you and what is a no for you. And as I said, it's different for everyone. For me, for example, a yes feels like my heart is lifting. It's almost like that, an uplifting and an opening type of feeling. It feels good. It feels light. And I feel this lightness and almost a sense of peaceful excitement. That's how I describe my yes. And it's in my heart space. My no is more like a heavy thud in my stomach. It's almost like if someone were to hit me with, thankfully I've never felt it physically, but a cattle prod where I'd feel a jolt, and it's like this heavy prodding, and it's in my stomach area. That's a no. And so I have from very strongly developed yes and no intuition and instinct from, doing this work for over 20 years, 25 years of personal development and healing for myself. So don't expect for it to be obvious if you're new to this, or if you maybe have been on the personal development path for a long time, but you haven't necessarily trusted your instincts. It might still be a bit of a more of a subtle thing until you start to get into it. So don't expect a very strong signal at first. Maybe it's just going to be a whisper. So the way you do this, the way you figure it out, is you would close your eyes and get into your body. So spend a moment closing your eyes and think of something that is a definite yes for you. So for example, something that makes you super happy, that you love. So you could think of a pet, you could think of a loved one, you could think of something that you're passionate about, whether it's maybe your business or your art, your purpose, your passion, whatever it is. Start thinking about that specifically and hone in on it with your eyes closed and see how your body feels. So other examples would be like a tingling feeling through the body, a warmth in the heart, a feeling of lightness all of a sudden overcoming you, or a feeling of an openness. Those could all be examples of yeses. And then the second thing I want you to think of is, specifically, again, with your eyes closed, give yourself a minute in between. With your eyes closed, think of a situation that was negative. So it was a sure no for you. I don't want you to traumatize yourself or think of something horrific. I just want you to think of like something that for sure was a no. So it could be, maybe you went on a date And for sure, you didn't like the person right away. And you just tune into that and think of that person. You really didn't like them. That it doesn't have to mean there's anything wrong with them, but you were just like, no, I do not want to go out with this guy, or no, I don't like this person at all. What did that feel like in your body at that moment? And tune into that. If you don't have any dating experiences to go by, think of a situation where it went wrong. And again, you're not traumatizing yourself. Think of something that's like a no, medium sized issue. So maybe, for example, you made a decision that turned out to be not the right decision. Maybe you made an investment and it went wrong, or something happened, or went started a job that you didn't like. Start thinking of those kind of scenarios, and how did that feel like in your body? What was going on? Where did it happen in your body, and what did it feel like? And my example again was like that feeling of like a cattle prod, sort of a, I guess if someone would tased me in my stomach, and I felt like a sort of a jolt and like an electric shock, but it was an unpleasant feeling and it was jarring. That's a no for me. Other examples of no could be you feel your heart close down, you feel yourself contracting in, you feel tension in your body. Maybe you feel, some people even feel a bit nauseous or sick. I don't really want you to focus on that. If you did feel sick or nauseous at a point where it was a no, try to think of another way for your body to signal you. You can even do this in a meditation where you tune in and say, body, what is a no for me? And I want it to be something that's easy and not too like traumatizing or upsetting. You can always change it if it was something that was unpleasant into something that's more manageable. You just want to tune in and start getting the translation of what's a yes and what's a no. So getting back on track here, we're trying to figure out, how to trust your instincts in dating and relationships. So once you have your yes and you've got your no, then you've got to put that into practice. So, if you're in a relationship and something is, maybe you want to discuss something with someone or you want to have a heart to heart with them, you can tune in and say, is now the right time for me to have this kind of discussion? Or is it the right time for both of us to bring it up? You're not asking because you want to defer to the other person. You're asking yourself internally, what's the best, is now the best time for both of us for me to bring this up? So do it in that way, not in the sort of a people pleasing way where you're saying, is it good for them? And then ignoring what you want. No, what's the best time, or is this the best time for both of us right now to bring up this conversation? Or example could be you go on a date or you message someone online on the dating profile and you're like, I'm going to say hi to them. I'm going to, answer them or have a little chat with this person. And then you get a message back from them. And maybe they're saying, let's go for coffee or let's meet up. Then you tune into your body and see if it's a yes and see if it's a no, or see how you feel. Are you getting a yes or a no signal? Is it clear? If you haven't been practicing this, or if you've ignored your instincts, I would suggest going to watch my video, how to stop ignoring the red flags, because that's a really great video on more in depth about that. So if you've been ignoring it for a while, then it's going to be hard to determine what's your yes and no at first, but until you get into it. So it's like a muscle, you've got to get it, strengthen it. So for example, if you they say, let's go for coffee, and then you can't quite figure it out. You can't quite feel it out. Then you would say yes. If the person was interesting and you kind of liked them and you weren't sure about it, Go on the coffee date, go for an hour. It's only coffee. Then meet them, pay attention to your body, pay very close attention when you meet them and when you're talking to them. And then you can, meet them for an hour or whatever it is, leave, go home and think about it, write it down, do some journaling. What was my body saying to me and what was my body doing when I was with this person? And it's nothing to do with the other person. This is your own internal navigation system based on what's best for you. It's not a judgment on the other person. It's nothing wrong. You're not being judgmental. You're not being mean. You are determining what's best for you. And does this match your desire? So you want to listen to it. And then once you determine, like, yeah, that was a yes, then you can move forward and say, okay, I'm going to see this person again. I'm going to see how this goes. Take the next steps. If you feel like it's a no, then listen to that and don't go out with them again, and just start practicing that, knowing that you can meet. There's lots of people out there that you can meet and, find a relationship. You're not like saying no to the last person on earth. There's still hope for you. There's lots of hope. There's lots of opportunity. So don't feel like you've got to say yes, even if your body's saying no. That's the whole point of this. You have to start trusting what your body's saying to you and what your internal intuition is saying to you. Follow it. The more you follow it, the more it's going to lead you to where you need to go. The more efficient it's going to get, the stronger it's going to get, and the more sure of yourself you're going to be. So hopefully this was helpful and you can use these tools. I would love to hear what you think about it, your insights, your comments, questions in the comment section below. And like this video so more women can see it who need to see this. It's very important to be able to trust your instincts while you're dating and in relationships, so you can have the lasting love you're looking for, so you can find the lasting love that you want. So I will see you next time. This is truly Eleanor signing off for now.